the final chapter for Hamas. At least America and the world hope so. Israel has announced it will move to the final chapter in the horrible situation with the Hamas terrorists and its supporters, after the extended period in which the remaining 50 hostages has degraded to 20 reportedly still alive. Netanyahu has realized that Hamas will not surrender the last living hostages, since that is the only bargaining chip they have left. Basically, Hamas is facing a choice of complete surrender and removal from Gaza, or fight to the death. This will involve the death of even more civilians as well as Israeli soldiers, since they are entrenched and the cowardly Hamas are hiding behind supposedly their own civilians. Anyone reviewing this situation must be aware that as much as the Israelis value life, it is unlikely that the remaining hostages will be recovered alive, except for some miracle. The final chapter is expected to take the entire month of September to complete. Some media have announced that on the eve of their removal, Hamas wants a deal. Well, there is no trusting this murdering scum, and they have not met the Israeli conditions, which are as follows. Prime Minister's office says the war can end immediately if 5 conditions are met: the release of all hostages, the disarmament of Hamas, the demilitarization of the Gaza Strip, Israeli security control in Gaza, and the establishment of an alternative civilian administration that does not indoctrinate for terror, does not dispatch terror, and does not threaten Israel. That's the story, folks. I appeal to my fellow Christians out there that this is not an Israel versus Hamas situation. I assure you that Hamas and its backer, Iran, hate the world's Christians just as much as they hate Israel and its supporters. In a related action, the U.S. State Department has revoked the visas for 80 representatives of the PLO and the Palestinian Authority. While both organizations supposedly represent Arabs in the West Bank, and generally the reality is that they are just as culpable as Hamas in the October 7th tragedy. That is the right decision at this time. We don't need more terrorists or sympathizers visiting American soil. The so-called two-state solution is a myth that will not work with the current interest groups. This is Dr. David D. Schein. Thanks for joining me for this special edition of Saving America. Remember, a new Saving America show is aired on the Brushwood Media Network every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Listen on any of the 16 network stations, Apple or Google mobile app, Apple CarPlay, TuneIn, Smart Speaker, and all smart TVs. Find more information at the brushwoodmedianetwork.com. Please be sure to join us each week. We welcome and love your feedback from our growing audience.